Welcome to Wafu TV. If this is your first time watching us, this is a platform where we facilitate the understanding of elementary mathematics. We equally help adults and teachers to understand basic elementary mathematics so that they can assist young learners. Today, our lesson is on Roman and Arabic numerals, and the objectives of our lesson is first to be able to write out numbers in Roman numerals and as well to write numbers in Arabic numerals. It is true that sometimes it is challenging to write out numbers from Arabic to Roman numerals or from Roman numerals to Arabic numerals. Today, we have good news for you because we have the key to unlock all these challenges so that you can easily convert from one numeral to another. Without waste of time, let us look at some key representations from which other numbers are formed. These key representations mean they are like whole numbers, which when coming out with other numbers, you can use these whole numbers to formulate these numbers. So let's look at them carefully before we go into the different rules and the different signs and symbols that will enable us to write any number in either Arabic or Roman numerals. The first one above in red, we have Arabic numerals, and in black, we have Roman numerals. 1 in Arabic numerals is represented by the letter I. 5 is represented by V. 10 by X. 50 by L. 100 by C, 500 by D, 1000 by M, 5000 is represented by V bar, V and a bar, and 10,000 is represented by X and a bar. With this in mind, it will be easier for us to write out any number given in Arabic numerals in Roman numerals. So let us now look at the various or the different keys, I'll call them keys or rules or procedure that we have to follow to be able to write out any given number in Roman numerals or from Roman to Arabic numerals. The first one states that a numeral can be written successively only 3 times. That means if you are to write a numeral together, successively means together, without any other number or symbol coming in between, the maximum number of times allowed is 3 times. Let us write this one down and we go step by step for better understanding. After each rule, we are going to give some examples that will permit us to understand better. Let's look at this example. A numeral can be written successfully only 3 times. Example, I means 3. Another example, if we write X, it means 10, 10, 10. That is 30. We can also look at another example like C, which means 300. So this is what we mean by a numeral can be written successively only 3 times. Therefore, if you see something like X, it is wrong. So we allow maximum 3 times. The next rule states that the symbol or the numeral VLD and V bar can only be written once. Out of these numerals, there are some that can only be written once. So we have like V, L, D, and V bar. These numerals can only be written 1 time. If you look at this second rule, you will realize that here we have some numerals that can be written 3 times, 2 times, and so on. But these other numerals can only be written once. You cannot find them appearing successively 2 times or 3 times. Take note of this. Rule number 3 states that if a smaller numeral is written to the left of a larger one, the result is difference. If a smaller numeral is written to the left of a larger one, the result is difference. What do we mean by this? Let's look at this example and you will understand exactly what is meant by this statement. If you look at this, I is 1, V is 5. V is bigger than I, and I is written to the left. So here we find the difference, which means 5 take away 1, and the answer is 4. So VI means 4. Let's look at another example. IX. IX, small to the left, big to the right. Big is 10, small is 1. So if you find the difference, 10 minus 1, you're going to have 9. So IX is same as 9. Another example, if you have something like XC, C 100, X 10. X is smaller than C, and if you find the difference here, it means 100 take away 10, which is equal to 90. And let's look at the third example. You have something like CM, C 100, M 1000, and C is written to the left, so we subtract 1000, take away 100, which is equal to 900. These are examples that follow this statement for better understanding, for us to be able to identify that if a smaller numeral is written to the left, we find the difference. That said, let's look at the next row. It states that if a smaller number is written to the right, that's the opposite of this, the result is sum. If a smaller numeral is written to the right of a larger one, the result is sum. Let's look at examples as we did here for better understanding. If, for instance, it is written as VI, V is bigger than I, so the result here is sum, meaning we are going to add 5 plus 1, which is equal to 6. If you have, for instance, XI, that is 10 plus 1, which is equal to 11. If we continue in that order, if you have CX, it means 100 plus 10, which is equal to 110. If you want to continue, you can find something like MD. You come back to your table. M is 1000, D is 500. It means M is bigger than D. This will be 1000 plus 500 equal to 1500. So these are the rules. If you follow this carefully, at the end of the lesson, any number given to you in Arabic or Roman to convert to the other numeral will be easy for you to do. Let's look at our next rule. The last rule states that a smaller numeral can be written to the left just once, but can be written to the right up to 3 times. It means to the left of a bigger number, you cannot write 2 smaller numbers successively, but to the right, you can write it 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times, but not 4 times. So these are the rules to follow. Let's look at some examples. IV, we said this is 4. If you have VII, this will be 5 plus 2, which is 7. If you have LX, it will give 60. If you have V bar M, this will be equal to 6,000. 5,000 plus 1,000. And if you have, let's take MX bar, this means smaller one to the left, and we subtract 10,000, take away 1,000, will give 9,000. So this is practically how you can apply the rules to solve or to find any number given to you in Arabic numerals to convert to Roman numerals, or in Roman numerals to convert to Arabic numerals. Here we have 34 to be written in Roman numerals. This is the first thing to do. When a number is given, try to break it into as many whole numbers as possible. So 30 can be broken into 2 tens and then ones. 34 will be written as 30 plus 4. 30 is XXX plus 4 is IV. And our answer will be XXXIV. That will give us 34. 149. How can we break this down? We can break it into 100 plus 40 plus 9. 100 from our table as a whole number is C plus 40. How do we write 40? We cannot write X 4 times. So how do we write 40? 40 will be 50 take away 10. And 50 is L and 10 is X. Remember, when a smaller one is written to the left, we find a difference. So 40 will be big number, small number to the left. 50 take away 10, and 9 also will be 10 take away 1. 149 will be equal to C X L I X. 149. Let's move on. 2788. Let's break it. We can break it into 2000 plus 700. You can break it to 700 or 500 and 200 if you wish. And you can break this also to 80 and 8. 2000 will be M 2 times. 700 will be 500 because you cannot write 107 times. So you have 500, which is D, and 200. 500 plus 200, so DCC plus 80. How do we write 80? The closest number to 80 here is 50, so we have L plus how many tens to make it 80 plus 3 tens? So LXXX plus 8. How do we write 8? We have 5 and 3 ones. 5 and 111, or V111. So our answer will be equal to MMDCC. This is 2780. LXXX and 8. 88. VIII. This is what we have as far as that is concerned. Let's look at the next example. Example 4. 1992. Let's break it down. 1000 plus 900 plus 90 plus 2. 1000. M. 900. You cannot write 900 CCC 9 times. So what we do, you can easily break it down. 1000 take away 100. That is M first, take away 100. We'll give 900. 90 will be 100 take away 10, and 2 is 1 1, and this all together will give M C M X C I I. This is how you can follow this rule to break any number given to you from Arabic numerals to Roman numerals. This is the simplest format. Break the numbers into the whole numbers, the possible nearest whole numbers, and you will easily write it out no matter how long it is. Let us now look at numbers from Roman numerals to Arabic numerals. Keep in mind that one of the best ways to succeed is to follow the rule that we had before. Read from there, and when you are going wrong, you can easily detect it by yourself. So follow the rules and apply as you write the numbers out. X bar, M, V bar, D, C, X, X, I. It is also good that we break the numbers down so that we can easily interpret. This is a bigger number. You can keep it alone. This is small, this is big. It means these two will go together because you cannot read a smaller number and then read a bigger number. So when you see small and big, both go together. This is big, this is small. You can put these two together, or you can put them one by one. And here, you can also put this together and this together. What is X bar? You can use your table. X bar is 10,000 plus M V bar. M V bar. V bar is 5,000. M is 1,000. If you see it together, it means difference. So if you subtract this, you have 4,000. DC. D is 500. C is 100. So DC will mean, because it's to the right, that's 600. And XX will be 20, while this one is 3. And the answer is 10,000 plus 4,000 plus 600 plus 20 plus 3. 14,623. This is easy because you've just broken it down. The whole numbers, no matter how large they are, you've easily broken them down. Let's look at the next one. This is another example. Let's apply the method we applied here to break this down and interpret. V bar, you can leave it alone, which is V bar is 5,000. 5,000 plus MM together, because the next number is smaller. So we can put this together. MM will be 2,000. DCC, you can put them together or you can separate depending on how easy you understand. 500 and 300, giving all together 800. Plus 3x will give us 30. VII will give us 5 plus 2, that's 7. And this, if you add all together, you have 5,000, 2,000, 800, 37. 5 plus 2, 7,837. 5,000, 7,837. With this, you can easily, the first step is to break the whole numbers. No matter how long it is, try to break it into readable, because as you're breaking them down, you find out where a smaller one is written before a larger one. You put the two together and interpret, that is, find the difference. We'll look at the last example under this and see what next. CMXCI. Look at this carefully. This, you try to group it. If you want to separate this C, it cannot, because after C is a bigger number, so you have to put this together. CM means 1,000 take away 100, which is 900. XC, you have to put together because small and big, and this will give 100 minus 10, 90, and this one alone, 1. So answer will be 991. 991. This is what we had for you today, and we believed you've learned something. If you did, put it in practice so that you will not forget. And if you enjoyed the lesson for today, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, always comment and share so that we can improve on the service. See you in our next lesson. And in our next lesson, we are going to be looking at square numbers and square roots. Don't miss it. Ciao.